It has been 1 whole year since Security Breach was released. I played through countless times, done plenty of speedruns of the game, and sifted through the map more times than any game I've ever played. Needless to say, I absolutely love this game, quirks and all. But as a massive fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise dating back to the first,
Hello everybody!
I can safely speak for a majority of others when I say Security Breach isn't what we expected. Yeah, I know, preaching to the choir, Security Breach bad? What a hot take. But with 1 year to really ruminate on the game and the whole FNAF franchise as a whole, I think I know how the game could have satisfied fans, such as myself, while still telling the story they were already telling in the first place. Now, of course there's the Ruin DLC coming at an unknown date, and that could very well be the satisfying conclusion we were all hoping for. So, if it's the future, and this video is completely irrelevant, then I applaud Scott and Steelwolf for turning the tables on us. But without further ado, let's ask the question: how would I have changed Security Breach? First off, some ground rules. For this, I will not be changing the gameplay style, location, characters, or overall story majorly. Only things that would be adding to the story I have cooked up are allowed to be added. Overall, I want the experience of the game to remain how it is, but just polished slightly to feel more satisfying. I will also be adding a few quality of life changes that would have made the game a bit more helpful to the player. With that being said, let's get into it. Oh, and obviously, I'll be spoiling the game in this video. You probably already know the endings and whatnot, but I thought I'd add this to be courteous. The game itself starts and plays the same as it already did. Get out of Freddy, go through the maintenance tunnels, get to the lobby, etc. Here in the lobby is the first major change you'll notice. All elevators, with a few exceptions, have been changed into shutter doors, as they were initially planned to be. In this universe, a stable engine is used that can load things quickly, therefore negating the pointless elevators that no one likes. This includes the lobby elevators, Fazcat elevators, Monty Golf elevators, Bazar Blast elevator, and Bonnie Bowl elevator. The only elevators remaining are the ones that actually move the player to different floors and act as a sort of shortcut. Seriously, if Monty Golf could load through the vents in Mazer's eyes, why couldn't it load with the hallway that was initially supposed to be there? The next change happens after the player's choice of loading dock surprise counter exits. After getting caught by Vanessa, Vanny will appear as she did before. However, now with the shutter doors around as opposed to elevators, Vanny is capable of moving around the Pizzaplex. She will have her 2 scripted moments during Lost and Found and Show Stage Beginning. However, after Freddy's first upgrade, Vanny will now be constantly present in the map. She will wander the Pizzaplex in search of Gregory, urging the player to use more stealth to avoid her. Now begins a huge deviation. The player has their choice of going after Monty or Chica, but this time, the player can destroy the animatronic to upgrade Freddy, or they can opt to save the animatronic, who will now do their best to help Gregory, opening all gates that would be specific to them. To save Chica, the player must start the generator and place Monty Licks like usual, but must also go to a back control room that stops the Crushers. Now when the button is pressed, Chica will chase Gregory into the trash compactor, hitting the button with her knee, and both will fall into the sewers. Chica will be staggered, and Gregory presses a button on the back of her neck that resets her, having been added to her after she kept eating food she shouldn't. Now the two must traverse out of the sewers together. To save Monty, the player goes to the boss battle as normal, but instead of filling the hole in one bucket, they shoot at multiple targets around the map. When all are hit, a frequency will play that resets Monty, having been added since he kept going up onto the catwalks. However, because Vanny has one less animatronic helping her now, the Pizzaplex will be filled with more security bots who are roaming to find you and alert Vanny to your location. The more animatronics you save, the more security appears, and the faster Vanny gets, from playful skipping to urgent skips. The game continues as it did, getting the head repaired and then to Roxy's battle. Once again, she could be saved or destroyed. To save Roxy, the player must go around Roxy Raceway and change some of the lights settings. When they go off for that photo finish effect, Roxy's sensitive eyes will be flashed bright enough to reset her. Both options, though, will lead to the go-kart crashing. But instead of falling into a random maintenance area, it will crash into the wall, revealing a hallway that had been behind a door hidden by a shelf, or bookcase, or whatever it could be. Also, during editing this, I noticed that there was a gate there that's actually like slightly opened up, so it could actually be closed off and then the go-kart breaks the gate open. This is the same door you go through in the normal game to get the Afton ending. This replaces that elevator because I always found it kind of strange that an entire building is that far underground. So it makes more sense that the Pizzaplex was built around it, kind of like how Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was in the novels. Most endings from here will be the same. Escape, Loading Docks, Vanny, and Princess Quest will all remain the exact same. Fire ending will be changed to another bad ending, like Escape, where Vanny ends up pushing Gregory and Freddy off the roof while she readies to be engulfed in flames. Freddy takes the fall for Gregory though, cushioning him and allowing him to run off and escape. Finally, we get to the final and canon ending, the Afton ending. This is the one that has changed the most out of all, but we'll need to prelude it with a few subtle hints that were in the game that went nowhere. Throughout the game, you can find posters for Fredbear's Family Diner. These are neat, but there were just references. Another mystery was the disappearance of Glamrock Bonnie, who never really went anywhere either. But this new ending solves both mysteries. Gregory and Freddy go through the revealed hallway, opening a gate that must be opened by Monty, and opening a door that can only be opened by Chica's voice box, adding the same mechanic that we already had in the game. Fog pours out of the doorway, and they go through, the mist clearing to reveal Fredbear's Family Diner. After Henry burned down the location with the remains of the past in Pizzeria Simulator, only this one location remains. This is where Glitchtrap led Vanessa to, and had work done to rise again. Within the location is the ruined body of Glamrock Bonnie, having been twisted and changed into a new body for Glitchtrap to inhabit. You get there in time to see the transfer, Vanny falling to the ground as the virus leaves her mind. Afton is now reborn. It is now up to Gregory and Freddy to stop him once and for all. The final remains of Afton in the very building that started it all. Afton tries to come for Gregory, but the floor collapses, sending them into a control room that had been built to control the security bots, monitor the Pizzaplex, and serve as a primary workplace for Vanny and Afton. Freddy tries to get away with Gregory, but is infected by Afton before he can. Now without his ally, Gregory must use stealth to move through the control center, keeping away from Afton and a vilified Freddy to destroy the 4 control panels they have. The first controls the doors, giving Gregory access to the rest of the location. The second controls the security bots. Destroying the control panel stops the security bots from hunting you. The third control panel is the power, making Afton vulnerable and unable to use the recharge station. And finally, the animatronic control panel, saving Freddy and allowing the true end of Afton. If the players saved Monty, Roxy, and Chica as well, they will each help out in different ways. Monty will end up destroying the control panel for the doors for you, so you won't have to worry about it. Chica uses her voice box to be able to keep the security bots stunned for good easy access to that panel. And Roxy now acts as a guide of sorts, speaking through your Fazwatch to tell you where Freddy and Afton are, so you can avoid them. At the end, Freddy and the security bots will disassemble Afton, destroying his last remnants. The area begins to collapse, everyone dashing out back to Roxy Raceway as Fredbear's is destroyed. The ghosts of the past all finally put to rest. If the player saved all 3 animatronics, the ending will play out slightly different. The band will hold down Afton as Freddy removes the Glitchtrap virus and destroys it, freeing Bonnie from his control. Everyone is finally safe, and the past has been buried. The morning sun rises as a bright new future overlooks the Fazbear name. A few final changes to make the experience also needed will be added. A collectible counter, for one, would have made completion far more manageable as a player. Better usage of maintenance tunnels would have also been preferred for quicker access to different areas. And finally, add an obtainable item that allows the player to skip the Freddy upgrade minigame. It is by far one of my least favorite parts of the entire game and was made even worse when they patched it. A note to game devs, no one likes Simon Says type games. Stop adding them to your games. And that is what I would have added to Security Breach to make it just a bit more satisfying for the fans of the franchise and casual players. We wrapped up the story perfectly, with all loose ends having been tied up. What do you think? Would this have made the game better for you as a player? Is there anything I missed that you'd want my opinion on? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love hearing your takes. And before this video ends, I'd like to announce I'm still making that alternative FNAF timeline I promised a while back. New information kept coming up and pieces kept connecting, so expect that sometime around January. Happy anniversary, Security Breach, and here's to hoping Afton doesn't come back. No, please seriously, stop bringing him back.